All right, back at it, X-Files, Season 5, Episode 15, Travelers. We are currently, as we speak, on Episode 6 of Season 6. We have watched all of Season 5, X-Files Fight the Future, the film, and we are 6 episodes into Season 6 at this point, so we got a little catching up to do. The girls came for 4 straight days, and we watched a lot of shit. They did not feel like we watched anywhere near enough. And I agree. I'm always down to watch more. So let's talk about this. I don't have a lot to say about this one. I really don't. I really didn't like this episode at all. I found it to be almost completely pointless. So I actually didn't like season 5 all that much. Like there's some good episodes for sure, but I think this is the weakest season by far because it's very clear. And when you read the trivia, it outright states it. They were filming the movie during a lot of this season, and doing so, they had to film episodes without Scully, without Mulder, and sometimes without either of them. And I feel like it's very apparent, it's very obvious that they felt like they were limited to the stories that they were telling. Even Stephen King did a freaking episode in this season, and they were like, hey man, you only got Scully. I don't know if that's what happened, but it feels like it's what happened because it happens with every friggin' other episode in this season, which is really frustrating. And the season is cut short. It's only 20 friggin' episodes instead of 24, and they're off making the movie, which, I really enjoy, but I don't know. I found this one to be so uninteresting.
Yeah.
So this takes place in 1990. It's a flashback episode told to Mulder by the actor from A Christmas Story and Billy Madison. That's how I always recognize him. I don't know which one I think of more when I see him. Probably Billy Madison because I've seen it more. But Christmas Story dad as well. He's always a dad. And he's recounting this story. Edgar from freaking Man in Black, I guess. The bug in the mouth comes out. Mm-hmm. He's wearing the freaking human suit. Your thing that creeps you out. It's not actually Vincent D'Onofrio or anything, but it reminds me of Edgar from Men in Black. And I don't remember. It's actually in a recent episode after this that somebody says Men in Black to Mulder, and he's like, I didn't see that movie. Yeah, I don't know what episode that is, but it's funny that Men in Black is mentioned. So this deals with kind of like the Red Scare and everyone being like afraid of being found out to be communists and whatnot.
Yeah, but it's kind of like instead of them being actual communists, like they're like finding aliens and stuff and like calling them communists.
Yeah.
So that they can contain them.
Yeah.
Basically.
Don't even get me started on like the Red Scare and like people worried about people being communists and like literally putting them to death over it and shit. Yeah. This is the dumbest fucking shit I've ever heard in my life. Such an insane part of our history. Such an insane part of like every bit of history that I look back on. It's fucking embarrassing. Like humans are fucking embarrassing. We are just an embarrassing group of like a species. I really am just. I really genuinely don't feel like I'm like on the right planet half the time. I think everyone can agree with that to a degree. Like, I genuinely feel a lot of the times like, is this a simulation for me to like see how fucking far you can stretch the human mind? How many like absolutely insane things that before I snap?
Yes, we're not real.
It fucking feels like that at times. It feels like the Truman Show.
In your head.
This is ramblings of a schizophrenic, but like that's the fucking way it feels. I feel schizophrenic sometimes because I sit here and I think there's no way the things that happen in the world are fucking real. It's not possible people are this fucking stupid. But they are. And they always have been. And I don't know, they might always be. Is there any hope for us? I don't fucking know. That's not what we're here to talk about. I don't have much to say about this episode. What do you got to say?
Generally I like to see like the flashback episodes, especially when they relate to Mulder and his dad or like the smoking man, because I like to see kind of how far back the conspiracy stretches.
According to the movie, it's like 35,000 BC.
Yeah.
It's real far.
Yeah. But I agree, though. I think that this episode feels definitely because Mulder and Scully are, like, not in it at all. And Mulder's dad is also not in it for much. Like, it's really only towards, like, the end of the episode that he comes in and actually plays a role. It does feel, unfortunately, like a filler episode, and I normally don't think that about, anything when it comes to TV shows, because I like the, world building and character building and all that. But this one does actually feel like a filler episode, and I don't know, I also don't have a ton to say about it. I like younger Mulder here, because he is, like, quite young in this.
Yeah.
Or he's supposed to be quite young, like, early in his career.
Yeah.
So that's always cool to see him, like, before, Dana and everything.
Yeah. When they ever show stuff like this in movies, I just can't for the life of me, like, comprehend or figure it out at all. So they have these, like, paper files that people will take out, and they've been redacted.
Oh, yeah.
And there's literally, like, just, like, black lines through almost every single bit, and then, like, one word here or one word there per every other few fucking page. You get, like, a word. It's like the. And you're like, just fucking burn them. Just get rid of them. What's the point? What is the literal point? I know maybe there's, like, a law against, like, getting rid of them, but you already did. Like, why are you trying to pretend that they actually exist? Because it's paper. It's a paper file. It's not like there's a code that you could put in to re-redact them and take the marker away. No. They're fucking redacted permanently, so why not just burn the fucking files? If there's no point, like if I look at them and it literally just says the... Cool, glad it still exists. What the fuck is the point?
I don't know. I don't know why they do that. It does seem pretty pointless.
Because it's like, it's what it is it's some kind of like legal loophole where it's like, no, we didn't get rid of the files. That'd be illegal. We just redacted some of the information to protect secrecies or whatever. And it's like, they're fucking secret files already.
Yeah.
And then it's like even more secret.
Extra secret.
And it's like you take out all the information and it's like, well, I don't know if there is information that needs to be known, but where that information is stored, that's what we need, right? That's the truth that we're looking for. But the redacted files that are redacted to that level is hilarious to me. Like, the fact that someone actually sat there with a marker and, like, went through every single one and was like, yeah, we can leave that word. That one's okay.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine doing that job?
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think it's dumb. I don't know.
Humans are so fucking stupid.
Like you said, I think it is just that, like, legal loophole.
Humans are so fucking stupid. That's my conclusion.
Okay.
That's my conclusion on everything. But especially this episode. There's so many things in here that I'm just like, humans are so fucking dumb. Anyway. And yeah, this is before Mulder is on the X-Files permanently. There's this one shot. It's very odd. I had to rewind it even, which we never do, but I rewound it because, like, we see this body that's empty. It has the bug that's crawled out of it. Mm-hmm. And it's shown and its mouth is agape and it's like that, but it's like a completely blank vessel. Like, it's flat skinned and its face is like crouched and it's, as I said, the mouth's like this. But then they show it from a different angle. And it's, like, wrinkled, and its mouth is closed, and it is a completely different prop, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's weird.
It's really
I was
weird.
like, is that supposed to be two different bodies? But it isn't. They talk about it like it's one body, and I'm like, why would you do that? Why? It's not even close. It's not even close to the same. When they show it from the two different angles, it's like, it's drastically different.
Yeah, that's another reason why it feels kind of like a rushed and quick episode.
But why would you make two bodies for one episode,
I don't know.
like, for one scene?
It almost seems like they had like two like maybe
they
that
had a
was
body
for
from a different
else.
scene.
Yeah,
and then they're like, we needed a different. Why even
and
show that
just
angle?
A mistake, and they were just like, no one will notice. No one will be watching this, and because also
so
we're watching it on the Blu-ray, so it's like it's possible that on
maybe
the regular version,
but I
like,
noticed
it's
it
not as
instantly.
Noticeable. Plus, they probably weren't banking that people would, like, be able to rewind and
I
look
was
at it.
looking at it because it was so, like, scary looking.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, look at the mouth. It's so open. And like, it looked freaky. And so when it cut to the next image and it looked literally nothing like the other image that I was just staring at for the last 5 seconds, I was like, What the fuck is that? Is that a different body? No.
Yeah, it's weird.
So that was super bizarre. And this guy that he's talking to, I guess, is running the original X-Files. Right? This is like the OG X-Files. So that's kind of cool, but it would only be cool if that was like something that came up more, or if there was something that was revealed in here that actually played into the overall narrative more. You could skip this episode completely and it would change absolutely nothing when it comes to the story at all in any way, shape, or form. It has no impact to anything at all, and it feels like an episode that should. This feels like an episode that should have big character moments for like Mulder's dad or whatever, or the X-Files creation, right? This is like an origin stories to the X-Files, and it's completely unmemorable.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what the
you
fuck?
Could definitely like skip it, like you said. There wouldn't be any effect.
Don't you think like the creation of like the X-Files and like, this guy coming in should be like a big deal?
Yes.
I feel like it should be like a two-parter, and like how Mulder's gonna be like, whoa, you're the guy that started the X-Files?
Yeah, but like
they even saying, isn't this the episode where she was like, he's like, why didn't you file it under U for unexplained? And he's like, we did until we ran out of space, and then we moved it to X. That's why it's called the X-Files. So you even get the why it's called the X-Files in here.
Yeah, but I don't know if he actually... I think that that's more just like... They call it X-Files, but I don't think this is the actual start to the X-Files, because we find out later that Mulder and this other woman
created the X-Files. Right, that bitch.
So I think this is more just kind of like a nod for like they also have unexplained... Like they've always had unexplained cases.
Right.
And
well,
so
he's not...
It's more the name, the X-Files.
It's not his focus of his career. He worked on an X-File, and Mulder works on the X-Files. Right? Like that's his division. Is like, we only work on the X-Files. This guy just so happened to do an X-File. But this is the farthest back X-File we've seen in the show that someone has worked on. So it's like the original X-Files case, I guess, is more of what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
So, I mean, thank you for, the more specific classification of that. You're right. But regardless. Anyway, that's it. I don't really have anything more to say about the episode.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll move on. All right. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.